Welcome officially to the first out of a series of webinars that DiMAT is hosting. Today, we're going to focus exclusively on presenting to you the DiMAT solutions that are developed specifically for SMEs in the materials manufacturing industry. Going to our agenda, first, we're going to go through the challenges SMEs in the materials industry are facing. Then we're going to go to the DiMAT offer, our solutions, and our overall concept. Then we're going to delve deeper into the suites and the digital toolkits that we are developing for the SMEs, but also the purpose of this webinar is as well to gather your initial feedback towards the solutions that we are developing. So we're going to provide you information regarding the short survey that we're going to be launching today. And as well, of course, we're going to guide you to the process. The survey is very simple and it's going to serve us immensely in order to release our solutions with a focus on your specific needs. Then at the end, we're going to present to you the DiMAT community and the call for early adopters that we're going to be launching later this year, where you are actually going to be able to be interacting with the DiMAT toolkits. About our presenters today, we have very renowned speakers, starting with Nikos Kourkoulos, project manager at CERT, which is also the coordinating organization of DiMAT. Then Andres Boza, professor at the Polytechnical University of Valencia, UPV. Miguel Angel Mateo Casali, also an R&D researcher at UPV. Leonardo Cosma, simulation engineer at CHETMA. Then Harrison de la Rosa Ramirez, PhD researcher at UPV. Javier Gomez, researcher at Advanced Materials Modeling Simulation. Pablo de Andres, researcher at Fraunhofer, and myself, Eli Shtereva. I am project manager at DevSuccess, and today I'm hosting this webinar. Okay, and without further ado, let's go to the first topic, challenges SMEs in the materials industry are facing. Going to be presented to you by Harrison de la Rosa. Prior we delve into the presentations. If I think I can mute. Yes, please have your microphones muted during the presentation so it can go smoothly. Of course, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to drop them in the chat. And of course, we'll leave the floor and we'll try to respond to you during this webinar. Okay. And now, Harrison, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ellie. Hello, everyone. This is Harrison de la Rosa from UPB, and today I will share with you some information about the challenges that SMEs face in the material industry. SMEs of different sectors face multiple challenges that hinder their sustainability. And in general, we could mention some of them, starting by the access to finance, the regulatory compliance, the supply chain disruption, the raw material and production cost, and no last one, I mean, no at least the technology adoption. Somehow all of them have an interaction since one of them depend on the other. However, from the perspective of material industry, we can gather a separate group from all of them. From one side, we could have the supply chain disruption, and we know that the delay getting our supply is already an issue. Once we have the materials, we need to optimize their use. And sometimes we spend too many resources in the industry due to the trials and error, trying to optimize the product or trying to optimize the process. And mostly this happen when the operator, they have not the proper technology to support their skills. So access to the data itself also become a challenge when there is no a repository available with a reliable information. Why a repository of reliable information? Because most of the time when we want to improve, when we want to optimize process and production, we need data that we can take as a reference, especially when it comes about the processing condition of material and also about the properties of different material. Now, the second aspect about the raw material and production cost, it is true that many companies, day by day, they have production, they have product. But however, sometimes they are not doing it under the optimal condition. They are just having product. They are just producing. And therefore, the process and the parameter could be set according to material requirement. But as soon as the material change in some specification, and I mean the raw material, once it arrived to our company, maybe we need to change the process, and some correlation between the process parameter and the product property is needed, which can be provided by the proper technology, the digital technology. Also, the lack of technology and adaptation could be a challenge. Why? Because of the resistance of the operators to go through the technologies, because of the first one I mentioned before, that is the access to finance to be able to adopt those technology. We know that the production costs are a direct factor in determining our revenue. So the challenges of optimizing the use of the raw material and reducing the production cost will have a direct impact over the three principal stages that give as a result a product, and those are the design, the processing, and the manufacturing operations. Why? Because those are the stages in the industry that determine a good product at the end. Beginning by the design, if we don't have the proper tools to adapt our product, if we don't have the specific condition by which the material can be processed, probably we will be wasting the material instead of going directly to the production operation. Those three stages could become a real headache for SMEs that haven't adopted the proper technology, especially when increasing demand, because we need to go for more product in even less time. And also, it could be a big nightmare when the innovation shows up. Why? Because SME must be thinking about the new material to be used, the specific property and the characteristic of this new material. Also, they need to know the determine a design to be applied and that fit our product, and also the processing condition in which the new material have to be processed. And also, most of the time, those innovation implies changes in the line production line, especially when until getting the optimums. From one side, it won't be always the same to manufacture under a well-known procedure, under well-known operation, compared to the new one. I mean the innovation, because as I said before, the innovation also implies the trial and failure, and that means resource consuming. However, making those trials and failures with the help of a software that could reduce not just the use of sources, but also to give us a result right away, no waiting so much time, could be so useful. Moreover, it reduces the production cost, since the manufacturing operation can be based immediately in the optimal condition that we obtain it as a result by the help of those digital technology. Despite the challenges that we have since we acquired this technology, also we could allow through those the correlation between the process parameter and the product properties. Also, by using new technologies, we can have a better traceability of our material better traceability of the process, and we can have access to data, and we can continue improving by having a storage of those data that we can be using for further improvement in the company. Thank you so much. Ellie?
Thank you, Harrison. Thank you for your presentation. Now, moving to the next speaker. We're moving to DiMAT offer. This is going to be presented by Nikos Kourkoulos. Nikos, the floor is yours.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Nikos Kourkoulos from SERF. Ellie, have you given me access?
Just did.
Perfect. Okay. It's not moving. Good. Okay, DiMAT is here to support the SMEs in resolving the challenges mentioned. We are very close to our first release of the toolkits. The DiMAT project is focused on the development of digital technologies for modeling, simulation, and optimization in each stage of the material value chain. For this purpose, we are developing 3 suites. First, the Data and Assessment Suite, that is focused on digital technologies for storing, sharing, and assessing materials data. The second suite is Modeling and Design Suite, that is focused on material design, predicting material behavior before manufacturing. The third suite is the Simulation and Optimization for material manufacturing, simulation, and behavior prediction. I don't know, it's stuck or okay. For the development of this solution, we are collaborating with specialized partners. We have a very strong commitment from research and development with partners such as Fraunhofer, UPV, NTUA, and SERF. We have technology providers for developing the toolkits and industrial partners like Imerys and Hegla in order to test the solution within the project. This is how we actually know that the toolkits released on the market are going to be functional and needed. The specialist partners are responsible for exploitation and standardization activities. Okay. Through our development and deployment of our solutions, we have 3 main goals: technological, economic, and societal. As technological, our goal is to provide open source solutions to support SMEs in optimizing their material production processes. As economic, we provide cost-efficient and affordable solutions, promoting the transition to industrial digitalization. As societal, our goal is to speed up the transition to a greener economy and support the sustainable goal of the SMEs. So how we are doing this? At first, we started with the overall concept of DiMAT Suites and toolkits, and then we have run the industrial scenarios and collaborated with the pilots to understand where to implement the solution and what is important for them. Based on that, we developed the KPIs and the solutions to be working in the best way possible. We developed the framework of the DiMAT Suites and toolkits, and now we're in the phase of developing the suites, and in a few months, we will have our first release. Around June, our pilots will start testing the solution, and after this testing, we will have a call for early adopters, and we are going to invite external SMEs to collaborate with the suites. Okay. As I mentioned, we are developing 3 suites. My colleagues who are developing them will give you more details after. Just to give you an overview, each suite includes 3 toolkits. The first suite, the Data and Assessment Suite, consists of Cloud Materials Database Toolkit, which is used for storing data in a harmonized way, the Knowledge Acquisition Framework that classifies materials in a graph, and the Materials Environmental and Cost Life Cycle Assessment Toolkit that gives a graphical estimation of the environmental and the economic impact. The second suite, the Modeling and Design Suite, includes the Material Design Framework Toolkit that provides information for the material design processes, the materials modeler that assists in designing materials predicting their behavior, and the material designer toolkit that assists the design of complex materials. The third suite, the DiMAT simulation optimization, includes the materials mechanical properties simulator that predicts the mechanical behavior, the materials processing simulator that predicts the outcome of materials processes, and the digital twin for process control that develops digital twins for enhancing industrial business process control. To be mentioned is that all suites and toolkits are interconnected and can be provided as a holistic solution. Our toolkits are going to be tested in pilots within the consortium. We're having 4 different pilots. First one is focused on polymer, so textile production. Second one is on advanced composite materials. The third one is on glass. And the fourth is on graphite. Thank you very much. That's all from me. Thank you for the attention. Ellie?
Thank you, Nikos.
Thank you.
Now, before we jump into presenting all the suites and the digital toolkits and how they're going to be functioning, supporting you in all the processes from designing the materials to modeling and processing to manufacturing, we are going to present to you the survey. So since we are a lot of people today, we cannot take we cannot start a live discussion, but we really want to hear your feedback regarding those solutions because we're having our first release of them within a couple of months. And as I've mentioned, afterwards, at the end of the year, or towards the end of the year, we're going to have an expression of call for interest from early adopters. So in order for this to happen, we need to hear your feedback. And prior this, we're going to provide you in a nutshell with information regarding the survey that we're going to launch today during the webinar. And now Andres is going to provide you with more information.
Okay, thank you, Ellie. Okay, thank you, Ellie. The idea is to have a feedback of the solution with contribution of your business perspective and also with the technical perspective. The solution will be presented now, and as you know, we have 3 suites, and we want to know your perspective for each suite. Then we are going to launch three surveys, one after each suite. The idea is to collect information about your interest about each suite and also difficulties in order to make the implementation of the suite in your organization. This information gives us feedback in order to make a good government about the solutions. The idea is that you identify how you can use the suite in your organization. You identify the business process and activities where the suite is useful. Then each suite is useful for different proposals. And we want to ask about if the suite is applicable for your business. If yes, how important are this business process, the different business process? How much can the process will be improved using the suites? A list of a process that you will be highly impacted with the suite, and also a multiple choice list about needs that the suite address. After that, we can also identify the difficulties to make the implementation in your organization. Then we want to know organizational difficulties in order to make the implementation in your organization, and also the technical difficulties. And as I have said before, this gives us a good feedback for our solution. The survey is only 9 questions, and the survey is the same for all the suites. At the beginning, you have to introduce information about your company, but only the sector, the size, and the location. And this is all that you have to include in the survey that will be sent after the presentation of each suite. Thank you.
Thank you, Andres. Now, moving to the fun part, we're starting with the actual presentation of the solutions. First, we are going through the DiMAT platform, so how you can actually interact with the solutions. This is going to be presented by Miguel Angel Mateo Casar.
Yes, I'm going to share my screen. If you provide me the... You
Yes.
stop it, please.
Just a second.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose you can see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. I'm going to present the platform of DiMAT. The idea with this platform is provide a tool to facilitate the use of the DiMAT solutions inside the different companies. But as we presented in the next minutes, the solutions we will be deployed to use it with the idea as a in a cloud computing in as a service. Okay, with this platform or this panel or dashboard, we want to provide to the operator or the engineer a facile use of these solutions. When you arrive to this dashboard, you can log in inside the platform with a specific credential, and when you do the login, you will see all the different solutions in your company. This user can have the possibility to define different roles and provide the accessibility to 1, 2, 3 or different solutions inside your company. When you are doing the login, you have a first panel with the solutions, and the idea is to provide a button. When you click it, go directly to the solution. If you do the login here, you don't need to log in the rest of the solutions because we share this credential between the different solutions. If you want to know more information about the solutions, you can go inside of the different suites and you receive some specific data about the different solutions. For example, in this case, in the cloud materials, you can go directly to the solution and test it or use it inside your company. You have the possibility to see a video with a little demonstration or instructions that how to use the solution, the documentation that is provided by the consortium about the solutions, and a button with the marketplace. This button go directly to the place that we will sell the solutions or provide it to download the product if you needed to or if you want to include it in your company. As you can see, this platform is working on it now, and the idea is to improve it at the end of the next months with the first and the second release of the solutions. Also, only to remember that all these solutions is working standalone, but we provided this platform with the possibility to access to the different solution. And if your company, if only have 1, 2, 3 solutions, you can only see here your solutions to facilitate the use inside your company. That is the first view of the DiMAT platform, and thank you for all for attending. If there are some questions or suggestions, I'm open it. Please send me an email to Eli at the end of this conference or here inside the chat, and I will try to answer it all you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel Angel. Excellent presentation and first view of the platform. And now we're moving to the different suites. As Miguel Angel mentioned, also keep in mind as well that yes, you can use the toolkits also individually, but all together because they're actually interactive and they talk to each other. So the more you use, the better for your processes as well. And now we're starting with the first suite, which is going to be presented by Pablo de Andres from Fraunhofer. After the presentation of suite 1, we're going to launch the fast survey. Of course, we're going to take you through the questions so you can answer. And that's it. So, Pablo, are you ready to present?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, can you skip this slide to the next one?
Yes, can you just ask for the remote control so you can
I mean, it's
have
just this slide, so I don't need to switch more
Oh,
from my
okay.
side.
Okay, that's it then.
Sorry. Well, hi everyone. So, like Nikos already mentioned, this suite is mainly focused on storage management and the harmonization of data, so that then you can create knowledge and use this knowledge further. Because when we were analyzing the different challenges that companies, SMEs, and researchers face, we realized that there is a lot of data, but this data comes from different sources. It has different formats, and you usually need an expert to explain to you, this is what this means, this is the format, and your information is actually on this line. and we are trying to solve this issue or to make this easier. And for this, maybe an example, if you think of a company, someone trying to create a new material compound, as a first step, you could use the KAF, and I'm starting here in the middle, so the knowledge acquisition framework, which is a graph where you have different materials and their properties, and you could access this graph and see, okay, I'm interested in this property, so maybe this material is interesting, or I have already tested this material, I want something similar, so because it's a graph, I can see what's close by, what is related, and in that sense, I can discover potential solutions. If you are using this in parallel with the cloud materials database, which is this first solution, it's the storage solution, you could actually filter the results and the information stored there, sorry, by the materials and the properties in the KAF. So you can say, okay, I'm interested in this material, in these properties. What data do you have about this? Let's say you have found something interesting, but you want to do something else. You develop through your processes this specific compound, and in the end, you can characterize it and you can store all this information in the CMDB. So you upload your files and you say, okay, this is the file. It will analyze the format, try to extract some information, and make this in a semantic way so that both the machine and other people understand this. And then we don't need to care, like, to learn what your format is. And also, you can define your process. So we have this concept of the CADA and the model, so characterization data and modeling data, where you can define the process and you can explain there. So all this information can be stored there. And furthermore, in the end, let's say you have some reason for developing this compound. You could say, okay, I'm trying to decrease my impact in the environment. I'm trying to decrease costs. And for this, you have the material, environmental, and cost life cycle assessment, which is a bit of a mouthful, but you have a graphical representation there, and you can see, okay, based on some KPIs that we have, that we have focused on, how do the values change on my new material? Am I saving cost? Am I having a less impact? And you have some nice dashboards there, so you can browse this and see how this plot changes. As mentioned already before, also we have some pilots. So here you can see some actual use cases. I'm not going to go through them, but basically we are using real life examples of different compounds and different materials. So we have, different companies. So we have Nature Plus with this plastic, for example, this plastic pilot where they're trying to find some solutions, or the glass with Hegel Hanik and also Fraunhofer, we're part of that. So we are trying to actually integrate these solutions in our processes to improve our productivity.
Thank you, Pablo. And now we're moving to the survey. In case you have additional questions to Suite 1, we absolutely understand that this is the very first time we're introducing this to you, and we understand that you're not aware of all the functionalities that are within. That's why the survey is on a bit of higher business processes queries. Nevertheless, while you're filling it in case something is unclear or you want to ask any question, please feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll respond it right now. So first, we're launching the survey for Suite 1. You should be able to see it on your screens. And now I'm going to go through the questions with all of you, but please start filling it in. we expect something to about 3 to 4 minutes for each survey. So let's go ahead through the questions. First one is company sector. So we're asking you in which sector are you operating? And here you have options: metals and alloys, ceramics, polymers, composite materials, semiconductors, glass, or other. Just choose one, which is the most appropriate one for you. Okay. Then we move to company size. And here again, very straightforward. We're asking you whether you are in a micro enterprise, small enterprise, medium-sized enterprise, or large enterprise. And you again have to pick one option. Then for the geographic location, just type in the country where your company is based in. Then the first question is, could Suite 1 be applicable to your business processes? And here you answer either yes or no. Of course, we hope that the answer is going to be yes. In case if it's no, then you can move to Suite 2 and Suite 3, which are going to be presented in a bit. This survey is only for Suite 1. So after you have answered yes to this question, then we move to the next one, which is, if yes, how important for your business are the processes that are impacted by the suite? And here we're asking for you to range a scale from 0 to 5, where 0, the business processes that are relevant and connected with Suite 1 are not important at all, or the processes are very important for your business. Okay. Then, how much can the process be improved by implementing the suite? Again, it's a range from 0 to 5, where 0 is not important at all, and 5 is very important. Or, I'm sorry, improved. Important was the first one. So they cannot be improved by utilizing the suite, or they can be improved a lot when utilizing the suite. And then, can you list a maximum of 3 processes that will be highly impacted by the suite in order of importance? And here we have provided several examples, like raw material selection, material design, material production, quality control, and so forth. But since we are not aware of your internal processes, we have left this question open so you can provide us with your feedback. And here we're asking a maximum of 3, and please, the first one should be the most important, and then afterwards you provide the next 2. Okay. Then, next question, which companies needs the Suite 1 addressed? And here there is a multiple choice question, and you can mark as many of the options provided. Then question number 9, mark the organizational difficulties that your company could have when implementing Suite 1. And here we have provided a rank order, so you can rank the difficulties that you might be experiencing, from resistance to change, lack of training, lack of alignment with business process, insufficient budget, and so forth. In case you cannot see the difficulty mentioned here that is connected to your company and your processes, then you can mark others. And there is a follow-up question for others where you can actually state what is the exact difficulty. In case you have not marked others, you can skip this question. Then the next question is, mark the technical difficulties that your company could have when implementing Suite 1. First one was for organizational difficulties. Here we're speaking about technical difficulties. And again, we have provided different options. You can as well rank them in order. If as well you have marked others, please provide a description of the others in the follow-up question. In case you have not marked others, you can skip this question. And then final question is, what monthly cost per company, unlimited users, would you be willing to pay for Suite 1? Here you can choose one single option. And that's it. We're going to leave 1 more minute for you to respond. We see that up until now, we have 9 respondents out of 40 participants. We request as many of you to respond to the survey, because this is going to help us in developing the suites. And also you as early adopters afterwards will be as well able to benefit from the functionalities that you already have mentioned that you might need from them. Okay. 20 more seconds. Okay, we're closing the poll. For suite 1, we have 12 responses. Let's see for suite 2 and suite 3. I hope I will see a larger group of respondents. Okay, so Krish, we can end the poll now.
I ended, I suppose. Stop sharing.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And then we'll close it. Okay. Now we're moving to the next suite, which is going to be presented by Leonardo from Chetma.
Thank you, Ellie. Now I'm introducing to you the DiMAT Modeling Design Suite. This is a set of tools to be used for design materials regarding their internal structures, properties, and performances, and predict their behavior before the manufacturing process. Let's say you want to optimize the performances of some structural components by working on specifically on the material. For this, you need a tool or more tools that can guide you through the design process. Let's say that you're using composite materials. For example, you will need a tool that suggests you which kind of reinforcement you need to satisfy some requirements. In this case, the material design framework can be the answer. This is a tool of our suite, which provides data, information, and wisdom relevant to the material design process. It is an open knowledge system and support for supporting material design challenges in a multidisciplinary approach. Generally, it happens that a lot of factors dictates the effective properties of materials. So it is useful to have something that allows to discover which are these factors and how they influence the final properties of the chosen materials. Factors that could be of different kind. We can have structural, operational factors, or something related to the process. For this, we have the materials modeler. The materials modeler is a tool based on a robust artificial intelligence approach that can predict the materials behavior, can suggest improvements. And this tool can explain complex correlation between different phenomena, can discover non-obvious relationship between, for example, material structure and its properties, or the manufacturing conditions and the final properties. Finally, sometimes you must evaluate different solutions during the design process. Let's go back to the composite example I made before. One can consider different stacking solutions for a composite, and then needs to test each solution experimentally to assess the effective properties. The material designer came to the rescue. It is a tool which assists in designing complex materials like the composites, with a focus on their internal composition and microstructure. It considers the internal constituents of the materials, their arrangement, the presence of voids, and then solve a calculation model that gives the user the effective thermomechanical properties, reducing so the need of experimental testing. This set of toolkits can be used concurrently or separately. Specific workflows can be set up and adapted to specific use cases. Now, I will give you just a few concrete examples on how in DiMAT we are going to make use of these the tools in this suite. In one of the pilots, we are using the suite to provide the most suitable formulation for a polymer compound to obtain the desired final properties. The tools will give the possibility to understand which additives needs to be added to alter to improve the performances of the compound that you want to obtain. In another pilot, we are using the suite to provide guidelines on the material selection, given the properties that we want to obtain. Also, we give information about the process parameter in the manufacturing steps, again, with the aim to obtain specific properties at the end of the process. And just a final example, in another one of the pilot, we are designing structural components for drones, making use of recycled and renewable materials. And we are using the suite to calculate the optimal composite layup to obtain strong enough components, but minimizing their weights, which is, of course, an essential condition for a flying machine. That's all for this introduction to the suite. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonardo. Now, we're moving to the survey. This is going to be similar to the survey for Suite 1, just focusing on Suite 2. Again, in case you have any questions, something that was not clear, considering that you already are aware of the questions that we're asking, please let us know in the chat so we can respond while you're answering the survey. Again, for this survey, we have 3 to 4 minutes because the questions are very straightforward, and you can start responding. Again, we start from company sector. Something to mention as well, keep in mind that the survey is absolutely anonymous. We will not be able to see who was responding to what. We will just see the responses. So in case you had thoughts about it, I hope this is providing some ease of mind. Excellent. I see that people started responding faster for Suite 1, meaning that probably for Suite 1 you actually needed a bit more time to get acquainted with the questions. Okay, we have 7 respondents up until now.
We still have 1 minute and a half, so people can still join.
Yes, thank you, Krish. So in case you believe that something is missing in the question, or for example, within the company sector or the processes or the difficulties, you can as well type it in the chat. So we have this in mind for future development. Okay, we have 10 respondents in total. Krish, I think that we can close the survey. Okay. Then we're moving to the final suite, Suite 3. This is going to be presented by Javier Gomez from IMS.
Thank you, Eli. This is Javier Gomez, and the third suite is DiMAT simulation and optimization. This suite, the objective of this suite is to optimize manufacturing process or industrial product through advanced simulation. Basically, it's optimization through simulation, and to achieve this goal, we have implemented 3 powerful tools. The first tool is Material Mechanical Property Simulator. This toolkit is focused on material and product. We can predict the strength, flexibility, fracture properties, plasticity, grips. Basically, it's optimization of material and products through simulation. The second toolkit focus on material processing simulator and deals with industrial process. We can predict the result of a material process or industrial operation with this toolkit. And the third is digital twin for process control. With the first 2 toolkits, we are developing virtual model for material, virtual model for product and for process. And with this third toolkit, we are integrated the virtual models with a real process. Digital twin can communicate with the real process, transferring information from sensor to the virtual model and the results of validation in the opposite direction. We are going to see 3 examples of our toolkits in a very preliminary demo of our our element. The first is an example of a material and product optimization in which we are going to analyze a fishing network. We want to maximize the dimension to maximize the strength of our fishing network. The second example, we have a glass industry. We want to
Javier, are you here?
How to apply digital twin.
Okay,
yes, I am
Javier,
here.
we just
Yes.
there was a bit interruption in the connection, but I think now it's fine. Just
Okay.
to let you know, the video is not playing at this point.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
now
going
I
to run
think,
the
yeah.
video. This is a very preliminary example of the toolkit. And the first sample is the optimization of a fishing net, and in which with the toolkit we can modify the geometry of the fishing net, and we can predict the strength. We can predict the strength, and we can operate and analyze, like in a finite element program, our results. But we can also optimize the dimension of the network considering the strength. In the second example, we are seeing glass industry process, in which we want to optimize our bending operation with using a laser. We have some laser parameters of the temperature, like the dimension, and with our toolkit, we can predict the result of this operation. We can predict how is the bending of our glass with modifying the laser parameter in real time. And the third toolkit is digital twin, in which we have an example on how to mimic our factory devices, how to mimic with virtual model. For example, here we have a furnace, and we can analyze how is the temperature of our furnace, and we can use for improving our process controlling. All these tools are open tools and work in real time. Our models are not simple, are including multi-scale and multi-physics models, but the results are real-time results that we have achieved at this point, including artificial intelligence techniques with our physical data-driven modeling. We can apply all these three toolkits together, we can apply physical models inside the material process simulator, and our virtual models inside digital twin could be part of the first two toolkits, so we can apply all together with the idea of to have a personalized cost-effective simulation for cost reduction in terms of personal energy and time, and overall to understand better
Avi, we lost you
development of
again.
new product. And
Now we can
sorry.
hear you.
Sorry,
We
sorry
just, it was again an interruption.
about the problem. I am finishing. I am now really the conclusion of the with this toolkit. Finally, we can facilitate the development of new products and assets to the new markets. And this is all. I don't know if you can hear me perfectly.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, everything was very well heard. Just one or two sentences was missed, but the overall concept was heard. Thank you.
We have a question in the chat that is from Albert Mestre that asks, how do you connect the data to make your digital twins in real time? Not sure
Okay,
if
so
you
Javi,
can
this is
answer,
to you.
Javier.
Yes, this is important question. We have we are using some artificial intelligence technique with our virtual models. We are not implementing our data-driven models, well, our physical models alone. We are implementing it's a kind of model reduced model that we can add directly, and we can take the data from our sensors, apply to our virtual model, not the physical model. We are using this version of our model, reduced model, and we can interact in real time.
Thank you, Javi. In case there aren't any other questions, and I hope this question was answered properly. If not, you can, of course, follow up in the chat. Now we are launching our final survey connected to Suite 3. Questions are again the same, so we're going to launch it for no more than 3 minutes. In the meantime, if you have any other questions also connected to Suite 1 and Suite 2, please let us know. We still have a couple of minutes in which we can respond to you. And of course, keep in mind that this is only the first webinar and the first introduction to the suites, but we're also going to launch a series of webinars where we're going to target different industries. We're going to discuss the specific challenges, for example, within polymer production or glass production. And there we will have the opportunity to delve deeper in the specific questions that pertain to your core technical activities and as well business processes. We have 7 responses up until now. 30 more seconds, and then we're closing the final survey. Okay, closing the survey now. Okay, and now moving to the final part in the last couple of minutes that we have. As I've mentioned in the beginning, we are going to launch the DiMAT community starting next week. It is going to be launched on the F6S platform, which is the largest platform for founders worldwide. Currently, we have more than 4 million users in the platform. Within the DiMAT community, the main purpose, of course, is to launch our call for early adopters, which, as I've mentioned, it's going to be issued in the end of this year. But also, we're going to share with you all kinds of materials, opinion articles, webinars launched. You can ask all your questions connected to materials manufacturing challenges that you might be having, and we're also going to respond to you throughout with the whole expertise that we have within the consortia. Of course, keep in mind that we're absolutely not going to be spamming you there. We're going to provide only useful information that was asked from you. And that's basically it. Thank you all for joining. We're going to analyze the response that you have provided us with, and we're going to include this within the development of the suites. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you next time.
Thank you very much, Ellie.
Thank you.